My name is Gramey Browne, author of Learning the Business of Life. And I do these short interviews with professionals. I take them way back to when they were boys and girls, 7, 8, 9 years old. You would be surprised to see who they were back then compared to who they are now. So do me a favor, click subscribe, ring the bell, and give me a thumbs up. While you're doing that, I'll start asking the tough questions. So this evening I'm speaking with Karon, and he's a cybersecurity engineer. So Karon, introduce yourself and tell us your full name and exactly what you do.
So my name is Karon Martin. Everyone calls me K, and I'm a cybersecurity engineer. And I've been in the field for over 22 years.
23 years. So Kay, I want to take you way back to when you were a little boy.
Okay.
6, 7, 8, as far back as you can remember. Who was this little guy? Was he a troublemaker?
So it's funny you say that, because I had a very dynamic childhood, moving from household to household across the island in Jamaica, and eventually migrated up here to the United States. But it wasn't a situation where it hindered me from progressing in life. Yes, as a kid, you get in trouble and you do things, you say things happen. But the reality is I had a good foundation. And to be honest with you, I went through a lot in the process at a very young age. I got mauled by a group of dogs, and I couldn't go to school for about 4 months, and I had to learn how to walk again, and the whole 9 yards. And it was very traumatic. But to be honest with you, part of that process is my journey, and it made me who I am today.
Okay, so now, sorry to hear that.
No, it's
That's
okay.
terrible. As you got into your teenage years, 13, 14, all the way to 18, what was your hopes and dreams? Who were you then?
So,
Did you play sports? Did you?
I actually didn't for college or school per se, but I was very active in swimming.
Okay.
So I think, swimming and football to me are very, you have to be very athletic, because it's constant.
Yeah.
But it kept me disciplined, because I was a swim team captain, and I had to portray myself as such, because everyone came to me from a leadership standpoint, and I had to represent myself and my team. And my background with Jamaican parents, they were very stern, very strict, and it was all about just cookie cutter. It has to be done this way. You have to represent yourself this way. You have to have manners, have to have respect. And it really propelled me to being the person who I am today, and kind of shifted my mindset, because I didn't get in any trouble per se. I didn't get arrested or anything crazy. I wasn't in any involvement in any gangs or anything outside of what I knew.
So if you love what you've seen and hearing so far, do me a favor. Click subscribe, press the bell, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up.
Besides coming home a little bit later because I'm outside playing and just doing things like that, as an adolescent would. But other than that, I was pretty straight and narrow from a scholastic standpoint, and from just being that team leader that I was called to be, so to speak. I grew into that role. So that's pretty much the premise of those years.
Those years.
Yeah.
If you were a teenager today in 2026, you think you'll kind of be the same guy, or you would be like, I don't know, a YouTube influencer or whatever?
Yeah,
what do you think you would do?
It's a little different dynamic, because I think today, in this day and age, there's a heightened sense of entitlement. And growing up, we didn't have that. We weren't exposed to the social media, the Instagrams, the Facebooks, and all those things, and this cancel culture that a lot of these kids have to deal with, the peer pressure. Mm-hmm. The peer pressure wasn't as much or as significant, because you weren't on a broad scale that people could see every single move. I mean, people get up, they tweet, they say, hey, I'm having breakfast, I'm doing this, and da-da-da. We didn't have any of that.
Yeah,
so
that didn't exist.
I think that influence would have really changed me. And I don't think I would be the person who I am today. I don't think the going through the journey and the pressures of going through school and maintaining good grades and maintaining a job and just taking your life from A to B, graduating and becoming a man or you know, someone to maintain self, I don't think I would honestly have that perseverance today in this day and age versus, you know, being back then, because I had more discipline. And I just think everything is accessible, and that sense of entitlement derails the, to my perspective, derails the youth of today, because they don't have a structure, a solid structure. They get what they want when they want it. If they don't want it, they leave. You know, no one's committed anymore.
No.
There's no driven process. There's no true journey that you have to endure that builds you, you know, and builds your character and take you from point A to point B. It's just whatever. They don't want to quit, they quit.
Yeah.
They don't want to do it, they do it. You know what I mean? So I think it's a much harder times for kids growing up, you know, and how do you bottle that? How do you control that process? You know, it's almost borderline impossible, because everyone has a cell phone. Everyone has access, you know, and not to say that if I didn't have that access back then, I could have accomplished more, possibly, in, like you said, maybe an influencer or something on the web, or start a small business, you know, because now anyone can spin up everything, especially with AI, which is a major influence in what's happening.
It's a game changer.
It is a game changer. My sister right now, she's doing phenomenally well compared to where I was at her age, because of that access, but she's utilizing it in the right way.
Exactly.
So that's my perspective on that.
Okay. Would you say now what you're doing is living out your dream, or is it you wake up to go to work every day?
So it's a little bit of both, and I say that because the industry has shifted. I've always liked technology, and it's shifting so fast. Unless you are just doing one thing and one thing only, then I can say yes. But I'm not, because it's a broad scope. Now cybersecurity is the next thing. AI and cybersecurity. And security is in every aspect of IT.
Yeah.
You know, what are you doing networking? Or what are you doing applications? You're doing, you know, firewalls, or you're doing, you know, ERP systems and things of that nature.
VPNs and
So now it's vast. So to some degree, yes, living through that perspective and accomplishing these things and being at that level, yes, I would say that would be part of my dream, and reaching the masses, you know, because I believe that, you know, the better I am, the better my surroundings. You know, so I'm a people person, and I love to engage. And because of what I do, I can teach people, I can educate people, right? And I build that synergy, that buy-in, because in cybersecurity, most of the challenges happen in-house. So the greater they know, then the possibility of a breach is extremely, you know, significant.
It reduces the possibility.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, I would say yes, I've accomplished a lot, and from that perspective, living my dream in that light.
Okay, so now here comes the toughest question of all. You have to use your imagination for this one, right?
Okay.
So imagine yourself, you're at a high school assembly.
Okay.
You just came and did some workshop teaching about cybersecurity and everything online. There's a black SUV waiting for you outside.
Okay.
It's gonna take you to the airport. There's a private jet waiting for you. You're gonna fly back to Jamaica on a week vacation, right?
Okay.
What is the last parting words you would give to those kids?
Motivation is fleeting. And I say that because in life, you need to aspire to accomplish more, to be better inside, to be that person that I'm gonna give my all to accomplish whatever it is. Because like I said before, the better I am, the byproduct of that, the better my surroundings, everyone that I communicate and touch with. But motivation has a timeline. But the most important thing, right, the most important two things is your perspective coupled with your discipline. Because your discipline will take you from here to here, regardless of your circumstances. So have that attitude of no one's gonna outwork me, right? No one's gonna put me in a situation where I'm boxed in, because I'm gonna go above and beyond. While you're sleeping, I'm working, you know? While you're playing, I'm grinding. So maintain that discipline in every aspect of your life, right? And I believe in the 5 core values, right? From a emotional, financial, spiritual, physical, and mental standpoint, right? There's nothing in life that we do that doesn't fall within those 5 core values. Our objective as human beings is to live in the apex of those 5 core values, right? Can we do it all the time? No, but we strive to. And in the process of doing so, we create a synergistic sense of humanity where everyone is working towards being better. And that can only create a great opportunity, a greater opportunity for people, you know what I mean, for generational wealth and well-being. And that's what I would say. Stay disciplined.
Well, you said a mouthful. You have me here at awe. And I'm sure the youngsters are going to be like, oh, I like this guy. Thank you, my friend. It was a
problem,
pleasure.
Man, it was a pleasure. Thank you, sir. Take care.